What's happening, everyone? We are live. We are live again today. I'm just teeing up a few of the tweets I want to discuss. Going to be fun times. That's why I've got the Red Bull in the background. Fun times. Godfather J6, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. I got my new shirt on today. Yeah, we get more people. I'll pronounce it more. I'll show you again. But however, it is Scivive related. So Crypto Truth, what's up? If you all saw my tweet. But I did publish the Scivive summary on the blog today. And I think it's pretty good. I think it'd be pretty helpful. I had some professional help doing it. I didn't write it, but it was professionally written. We'll say that. I spent a lot of time, effort getting into good enough shape with different people involved in and outside the community to actually put it together and make sure it happens. So I wanted to share that. I think a lot of people are, they don't want to dive into a 300 or 400 page book, or, they don't want to listen to 15 hours audiobook, which I think it's great listening myself with SJ. However, if you don't want to do that, you can just look at the Scivive audiobook. And let me start sharing my screen. I'll bring it up on here too, just while we're here. If you've never been to my website, by the way, it's RHMax.org. Very, very simple. And then go to blog and then Scivive summary. So I'll just drop in the chat in case anyone's interested. And yeah, like I said, I did, I did this part, did the little intro, kind of a little bit of history as well. And this is Richard's voice recordings over the years. I estimate it was happened sometime during 2000s or 2010s. Feel free to correct me if anyone has better information. That's what I think. And he goes through each one, mind, body, spirit, the core concepts. And yeah, probably, I don't know, half-hour read or so if you really want to go through it. And, spend time in different sections so you understand. But this is the work of the man who is changing people's lives, multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrencies, and is a force for good in the world. So check it out if you're interested in that. However, let's also check. I talked about this yesterday on the Validator AMA. If y'all didn't catch that, I had a question that was like, hey, what was that site to check on PulseChain stuff that was happening? What is that site? And there's multiple sites. There's multiple services to do this. But crt.sh is the one that I demoed yesterday. PulseChain.com, that's when we found out, okay, and it just didn't work for a minute. Really? Is this all the Pulsicans crashing the website? They're trying to retrieve data so fast. Really? crt.sh is down. Interesting. Let's try it again. When I said yesterday I didn't have PulseX data, but it's because I didn't look for it. Because the service I use multiple ones. I use hex.com to check for updates there as well. Okay, seems to be working now. Maybe you got to wait for a second. I'll say hi to the chat while we're here. Greetings, Simply Think Dreams. Welcome, welcome. Almir, how's it going? How's it going? Definitely near. Yeah, I think so. I said mid-May back in March. Again, I'm not trying to brag on all these timelines and all this stuff, but I felt like I think being a validator too gave me a lot more information and ability to talk about this stuff. So it gives you a sense of, is the stuff actually working properly? What are the bugs? It gets you in the community of people working on it. Not that I talk to devs, but I talk to people close to devs. And if you're running a validator, you know where the network's running or not, at least at a basic level. CryptoZaddy. RHMax, you excited for the upcoming launch, bro? Yeah, I sleep pretty well. I don't let things affect me. I have this affirmation where it's like each day is complete in and of itself. And I kind of internalize that a lot. So, we'll see when PulseChain actually launches, and then, you got ratio trading, you got, I'll see how the network launches. Does anything go down? Anything go 200x, 1000x, 10,000x? I may sleep less then, but right now I sleep like a baby as far as not having anxiety on this stuff. Anyways, again, check out the Scivive summary if you're interested. Hex sets, what's happening? Let me check the page real quick. Okay, Beacon. Yeah, Beacon. All this stuff is so yesterday is when a lot of these certificates started being registered. that's when I knew. That's when I posted a video yesterday that, hey, we're looking close. This is the indicator that I was looking for. I want to see certificates being registered for these websites we're going to be using. Also revealed the RPC thing, because I didn't know if it was rpc.mainnet.PulseChain or if it was just rpc.PulseChain. We can also see that here that's RPC, so that helps everyone like understand what they need to connect to at a technical level. So that's awesome. Let me type in PulseX, see if there's any updates, because I have not checked this. Jeez, keeps going down. Okay, we'll wait a second. Keeps saying check. Ruskino, what's happening? Welcome, welcome. What virtual machine do you recommend to get the validator keys? Well, that's of the most secure ways to do it. That's the spinning up a cloud instance and virtual machine are the less secure. They're not insecure, but they're less secure, I would say. I would recommend you do a USB key or a live CD, boot from there, or just use completely different hardware itself. But if you are going to use a virtual machine, there's free ones. Let's see, let me just type in free virtual machine. Yeah, it's a VirtualBox. So VirtualBox is the one a lot of people use on Windows and stuff. And then, so yeah, you can use that to run virtual. But again, it's better to use a live CD. I'm probably gonna do live CD or live USB boot from an ephemeral machine, essentially. It's the more secure way of doing it. Let's try PulseX again while we're here. All right. Guys, on the snapshot, I'm excited to stop hearing about the snapshot because it's a fork block height. So you can call it a snapshot if you want, but I don't know why anyone's worried about that kind of stuff. If your bags are packed, why are you worried about this stuff? Have you collected the wait token? Planning not to? Interesting. Yeah, so the wait token is one you wait on. Up until launch, you can claim it for free. And well, you get more percentage, you get more bonus or something. It's at the midnight bonus, I believe. So yeah, I don't talk about my bags in detail. However, a lot of people are becoming much more interested now that we got closer to launch, and I'm excited to see what wait is used for. If it's used for discounts on the fiat on ramp or used in some other way. There is going to be a swap at some point too. So, anyways, this is launch plan. So I'm going to get into that a little bit. And we'll talk about some things that I haven't covered in the last two. I covered a lot of stuff in the last two, but I will cover some. Man, all right, we're going to check on this later. Remind me to check the certificate stuff for PulseX later, because I've literally not even checked my other source for that, I don't think, in the last day or so. So again, it's not about me telling you my launch plan. This is about talking about different things around launch, different plans that people may be using and stuff like that. So I want to go over a few tweets that I think play into this as well. Let's see. So Alex says, so this was a thread from Has PulseChain fork occurred? It's rejuvenating sellers. So is it possible the fork has occurred privately? Absolutely, but that is why Richard gave a forward-looking statement launch less than 7 days. Is it possible he's baiting sellers and thinking Blockout was forked already? It wasn't. I'm not going to copy. Beautiful and brilliant. I hope this actually occurs. 7 days. So again, block fork height I think it's going to be closer to launch time, whenever launch time is. Not knowable. Only Richard knows. However, the commentary here from Alex, we can't know until we know. But from what we do know, we've had 2 test nets around the chain fork deployment of PulseChain AM bot. We know how to roll back ETH nodes to be PLS nodes. These things are likely known quantities and can be scripted. There are no rules here anymore. In theory, it could be forked, bot run, deployed in less than a day. So that's interesting. So it sounds like Alex is saying that in less than a day. So maybe the minimum, maybe from this, the minimum would need a few hours to a day. And then charts, so maybe it's already been forked, pure speculation. Charts show market speculative reaction to the matter. Yeah, 7 days, pretty big window. I like the 7-day window. That makes a lot of sense in this context. Yeah, I think from this, it's sounding like if the block height is picked, it will be within a day. So maybe it's not hours of launch. Maybe it's like half a day or so. Anyways, to the snapshot question there, to the fork question, I think that is a pretty interesting one. I got to do my ritual of Alan says RHMax, and I say, Alan, what's happening, man? Welcome, welcome. Tell me your secrets. Well, I'm going to get to, I don't know about secrets, but I get to a few interesting things. I think it'll be worth your time. Try to make it that way. Tortuga, do you think price of EHEX will recover between now and launch? I have no idea, man. No idea. I haven't even been thinking about the hex price. I have thought about it from time to time, but it's so not important to me. It's just not important. Please, like, I mean, again, it's just, I'm not saying like it's a stupid question or anything. I'm just saying, can anyone tell me why the price of hex is important between now and PulseChain launch? Like, why is it just one of those things you don't know? So you just want to know because you don't know? You know, I don't know. What am I going to do if I think the price will recover? It's not knowable. So it's like you're asking. So I always talk about this thing. I only focus on things that are both knowable and important. Is it important to know if it'll recover, go up, down, whatever? Is it important? Maybe it depends on if you're planning on selling it or buying it. If you're not planning on trading, then maybe it's not important, but it's not knowable. So unless it's both knowable and important, it's just fan fiction speculation. And yeah, I just don't think a lot about it. I'll say that. For parity with PX, who knows, man? Who knows? We'll talk about that. There is a two camps. We will talk about the two camps of people that I've been talking to and I've seen around the community, and what they think about this type of stuff. What's up, Aquaman? Man? Welcome. So let's go on. So that's, if that helps, I think that's interesting. I think that gives me a little bit more information about it won't be to the hour of the snapshot. If I'm understanding this correctly, it wouldn't be to the hour of launch. The fork block height wouldn't be. It would be earlier than that. So maybe 12 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours. That's what this means to me, if I'm interpreting it correctly. So thank you, Alex, for talking about that. I have Gold Key here, talking about could be launching today, could be. How would it perform? This is really cool. So how high can PulseChain go? We have AVAX here, percent gains, X's, 50X, 329 days to do that. BNB, around 3,200, 33X. Solana, Luna, Phantom, is that Cosmos, Atom, and Cello. Not sure about that one, but look at these other networks, look at these other L1s and the number of X's they did in the amount of days. And imagine if you were designed to go up. Imagine if you were designed to appreciate. What would that mean? What would it mean? Would that be good news for price if you were designed to appreciate? I know it's at a very superficial level, but like PulseChain is designed to appreciate. The previous product the founder made, Hex, went up 10,000x. And that was the previous project where a lot of lessons were learned going into this. They're two different products. However, you got to know RH learned a lot of cool stuff that you didn't know before after launching Hex. So it would help him, give him the opportunity to make PulseChain launch even more successful and longevity-wise too. These type of gains are incredible. Nothing is guaranteed, but this ecosystem focused on true DeFi values, healthy ideals, and X's actually making money, giving people a fair chance to make a lot of money, to make tens, hundreds, thousands of X's. That's why I'm here. Like, we're all coming around these amazing ideas. And yeah, do we need price to go up to attract a lot of people in the ecosystem? Sure, that's a core component. But the community and the ability to create these products and some people are doing their life's work. People are doing their life's work in this ecosystem. They may never create better products than they ever created before in this ecosystem or afterwards. So I think it's amazing. I think it's, again, nothing is guaranteed, but at least you're given a fair shot and you access to the information to make these type of decisions. And that's all we can ask for. Next 6 months, year, 2 years, I don't know. What else do you want? In the words of Richard Hart, what else do you want? truly captivating. So give me just a moment. I need to check Twitter too, because I invited a couple people, see if just, I'm not expecting anyone to show up, but I invited a couple people at the last moment just in case they had time to hop on. So we're going to check that out. Give me just a minute. I'll leave this on the screen because it's pretty cool. Shout out to Gold Key. Gold Key, you want to come on? All right. I am back. All right, let me look at the chat. Ben says, all right, Mike, join social stream when you're done. Oh, you're having a social stream, right? Man, I didn't even think about that. Sorry. I seriously didn't even think about that. Yeah, at the same time too, huh? I've actually got plans. Otherwise, I would. So, yeah, man, sorry about that. Didn't mean to like split the watching power here. However, let's see. Launching PulseChain today or 17 astrologically. I'm not sure RH believes in astrology. He could. And nothing against astrology. I'm just saying I wouldn't bet on that. So I'm not doing nothing to get something. Yeah. He launches the 17th. I don't know. I think the weekend isn't the weekend the best onboarding time possible? Everyone's off work. Everyone's got more time to pay attention. That's the time where they jump in. I can make a case for the weekend is the best timing to launch. And I've said before, I don't think RH is timing this. I don't think he's been timing the launch, over months time span. I think he may be timing it locally now that we're so close. Maybe he's been planning. Maybe he's actually been putting some dates on the calendar. So if he were to do that, then why wouldn't the weekend be the best time? What if it's ready? If it's ready, of course. Like if he's going to pick a day to do it, I mean, Friday, Saturday, those would be the ideal times for onboarding, I would think, because everyone's got time to go out and shout and yell into the rooftops about PulseChain, and then get their trading done if they want to do some ratio trading, and then go back to work on Monday or put in their notice. Please be responsible when PulseChain launches again. Don't think you're going to get rich. Think that you've been waiting on something. Think about it being the beginning, not the end, or at least the middle. Just I don't think it's the end though for a lot of people. Nazim, what's happening, man? Kincaid, honey, what's happening, man? Good to see you. This is the time I'm showing you Scivive shirt. Boom. Designed a new shirt. I'll be giving it out in Miami. And it says some stuff that I can't read in the camera myself. Hopefully you can read it. It says a lot of things. I can't see it. But it basically says longevity research good. So in your question, do you think the launch is going to be today or people are going to tweet too much? I don't know. I could see it happening. I could see it happening today or tomorrow. But it could go till next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is a 7-day mark. So Tuesday, Wednesday, next week could be it. I don't know. He's been dropping some stuff. Let's go to his Twitter real quick so I can riff on his tweets a little bit more. I thought about doing a historical analysis, going through the tweets and being like, before stuff launched, what was he talking about? However, I'm not sure how much data you would get because he would be changing that before Mainnet, I imagine. But him saying stuff like, I have 8 hours of sleep, I think. What does that mean? Does that mean after you wake up, we're good? It means you're at peace with things because PulseChain is finally ready and you don't have to worry about fixing bugs anymore? What does that mean? And then this is just getting more people involved. This is just hitting up the Ethereum hashtag. And then I don't know what this was. Somebody talking about him making a coin of himself or making one. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. And that was just some hex.com upgrade stuff. Not a warning sign at all. Hex.com doesn't need to do any maintenance for PulseChain to launch. Like nothing directly. And then, yeah, 7 days. Everything's looking good. Maybe this was him being at peace with it's finally done. Now it's just logistics. Maybe that was the one. And if that was 14 hours ago, I could see that happening. I could see, let's do this scenario, pure speculation scenario. He 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago, he says Mainnet within 7 days. And 14 hours ago, let's say they fixed all the bugs. Let's just play this scenario out. They fixed all the bugs. The devs are like, sir, we're good to go. King, I don't know how they refer to him as, Mr. Hart, Mr. Win, maybe they call him Mr. Win. Mr. Win, things are ready to go. And he's like, cool. And then he tweets this and then goes to sleep. People talk about the time zones. Dipcatcher was talking about this. Is he sleeping in a regular time zone? Is he in a different time zone? Is he staying up all night? I don't know. Is he in America right now? We never know. But I think maybe that happened. So he knew 7 days was a big enough window just to make people not know when stuff is going to happen. And then it was really like he thought we were like a couple days away. And then that happened. And then now we're good. No other bugs to be fixed. The mainnet stuff has been merged on GitLab. I talked about that. And then now it's just logistics. Now it's just like, okay, the timing is the factor now. I think the timing is, maybe that's the point. The timing is the factor. The timing of what he needs to happen now, what he needs to do, how we need to launch is timing rather than anything else on the dev side as far as that goes. Infrastructure was rolled out. We saw that on the certificate thing. Let's check PulseX again, see if it works. Should go through if it's not give me a 502 yet. But this is for PulseX. And then let's look at the GitLab. Let's see, where can I see the merge? Let's see. Will it give me issues here? No. Not issues, because this is the org, not a thing. Where was that? Was that on Aragon? I can't remember. Oh man, seriously, make me sign in. Anyways, all right, this website. Did you guys crash the website or what? It's not working right now. Let's just try. No, not working right now. Anyways, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. 25. All right, say hi to the chat. We'll go on to the next stuff. Again, this is trying to help you prepare for launch. I haven't really got into, I'll get into more scenarios here, but I think this is an interesting one for Hans. Yes, sir. I plan to be there unless something changes. UFO to go. What's happening, man? So reasons why the OA won't pair EHEX hex liquidity. So this is not me saying one way or another. It's probably not Hans. Maybe he's not saying one way or another. This is objective thinking. This is, let's make the case for it and make the case against it and see which one makes more sense based on what we know. Reason why the OA won't pair liquidity, bridge risk. Everyone knows Richard hates on bridges, hacks the most, OA points at the risk. I don't know. For me, that was not a big deal because if Richard's making the bridge, I mean, you gotta accept some risk doing something. And if you're the one making it, it's been audited, all this stuff, maybe he'll do it a little bit at a time. It won't be the whole thing. I don't know. To me, that one is not a huge factor in it. Pretty sure Uniswap V2 routes through all the liquidity pools, same protocol. Okay. You know, I don't know. I think so. I guess the biggest reasons I would say too is so why they would be, hey, don't want to see cheap hex anywhere, protect the price. OA is our best friend. You know, we don't want to launch PulseChain and then everyone forget about hex and think that it's the worthless token. We want that narrative to come true. So there's that. However, if you're providing liquidity, you would have to do it in a way where you're set up to not do to minimize impermanent loss and to make sure that you're not giving away these coins. So it depends on the pairs and all that stuff. So that's the case for it, I guess. And the case against it would be there's no historical thing that OAs ever did like this, other than there was a Hedron sell wall that was there because when Hedron launched early in the days, it was making hex price go down. So we saw that happen. But other than that, that was like pretty small compared to what this would take to assure parity. I think if there's parity, I don't think it comes from the OA. I think the market decides that based on a bunch of other factors that we figure out in the next few days and weeks. I've always thought, I thought for a while at least, there won't be a one-to-one parity. I think there'll be a premium on one of them. Could be PX. But I think both networks be active. And I think the market will decide. And I think what the market decides will be good for Ethereum hex holders and PulseChain hex holders. Not financial advice. That's just what I could see, what I think can happen. All right, go into the chat before we get into some more, get into detail about some of the different launch scenarios too. I've been kind of touching on about getting more in detail. Where can we track PLS and PLX fundamental trade review? That's a good question. Who is tracking this stuff? Will it be added to somewhere, TradingView or otherwise? I mean, I guess it will be added once we have charts, once we have volume and trading. Hopefully the sites will pick it up. Interesting, yeah, because it's on PulseChain. So I don't know. We still don't have that pulsemarketcap.com as far as I know. Does anyone know of exchanges or trading sites that will list it? I guess you could just go to at least Fatty will, I imagine. So Fatty.io. So I imagine that we're going to have like a ETH and a PulseChain deal here. So at least we'll have community sites to do it. We may not have broad, big sites that'll do it instantly, but I imagine, yeah, we have V4 prices right here. So if we have V4 prices, I can just imagine there's a PulseChain tab or there's an Ethereum tab where all these go. So I would say, yeah, Fatty.io would be one of the things I'm thinking of for this. Come on. Oh my gosh. Still not working. All right. Well, I can't show you because it's the number one tool. I could probably find another website that does this. Let me see. Let me find, I mean, that's probably the best one, but let me see if I can find. That was another one I used the other day. Man, this is like the best one though for demos and stuff. That's free. That's how it works. Nobody cares about that anymore. All this will be over. You won't care about any of this after launch anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the other one is. It's just not working. Cool. All right. Uniswap ETH never causing issues. How's the gas fees? I haven't tried to make a transaction for a while, so I don't know. DJ Bomber makes sense to launch on the weekend and use 48 hours for bridge opens. But oh man, that's what I'm talking about right there. I agree with you. By the way, tell me if PulseChain launches while I'm streaming, because V3 launched while streaming before. Richard announced the mainnet while streaming before. Do I need to rub myself? Like rub my arm, rub my hands together, rub it like this for good luck to keep this up. Actually, I don't. If it launched right now, yeah, I would definitely cancel the rest of my plans for the day, I would say, and the weekend, or at least I've already told the family that I can't be out for more than like when PulseChain launches for the first 2 or 3 days. I don't want to take any trips or be away more than like 2 or 3, 4 hours. So I've already made it clear, and everyone's okay with that. How long was Big Payday after Hex launch? 1 year? Somewhere around there. Eric Borg, what's up, man? Realistic price both coins to launch? I have no idea. Could be sack rate. Who knows? I'll tell you what has been floated around. So sack rate, slightly below sack rate. This is price. This is if we have a bridge. Sack rate slightly below sack rate, or what else have I heard? Like 2x or something like that. So hard to say. Tell you one thing though, if there's a dump, historically speaking, new projects launch, stuff happens, and then they dump, historically speaking. If there is a dump, wouldn't that be, and it went below the sack price, if it like went way below it? Christmas in May. Deck Screen said they'll add. Awesome. Deck Screen is going to support PulseChain. I hope so, Hexbear. That'd be awesome. Let's see. Anthony says fork occur when PulseChain launches. Possible. Yeah, it's possible that the fork block height has already occurred, or has already been chosen, and they've prepared the network for launch based on that. It is possible. But if you rewind a little bit, I talked about, well, actually, I'll just pull it up. It's right here. This thread, I'll put this thread in here. It's very, very useful thread. In theory, it could be forked bot run in less than a day. So that tells me that maybe it won't be at the first hour or two. The block fork height may not be the first hour or two before the launch, because they need time to do stuff, but it could be within the day. But we don't know when launch is, so it's not helpful. But if you're speculating on when it could be, at most, maybe it's only a few hours before it. At closest, I guess you could say. Let's see. Cryptographics. Trolling, man. Trolling those price predictions. Yep. I know. Funny how no one gets price predictions out of me, because I don't give them. That's funny how that works. First of all, they're always wrong, aren't they? And so there's no benefit. Why don't you get price predictions? There's no benefit. If you're wrong most of the time, which you will be, I'm here to be right a lot. I want people to, trust my judgment, right? So if I want people to trust my judgment, why would I pull out of my butt price predictions or try to come up with these things that I have a 5% chance of even being near? For what? And then if people are going to remember later on, oh yeah, RHMax totally called it. It was your launch price or whatever. Like, what benefit is there for me doing that? So I know a lot of people love it. It gets people going, whatever. I don't want to hear people say, oh, Max said that it was supposed to be parity, but it wasn't. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I'd rather hear nothing than, people saying I was wrong about stuff. So that's why I will be wrong. I have been wrong. I'm never going to stop being wrong about certain things, but I try to avoid giving predictions about stuff that I can't possibly know, or I could be wrong on when there's no benefit. So anyways, yeah, graphics clearly joking, because we were on the stream the other day and talking about it, but it's just like, Other people, feel free. I don't think it's worth it for me, my personal decision. Let's see. Made so many Twitter bets. Go for it, man. Go for it, debased. Make those. You will not see me making a Twitter bet about price predictions. I don't think. Footsteps, what's happening, man? Nice of you to join us here. Appreciate you. Triggered. Graphics, you want to hop on? Let me know. You can turn this show around. Graphics, you can turn the show around. It's going very poorly right now. Let's see. Dumb question, is WPLS actual PLS token? Are you talking about on the Fatty portal? Is that should be wrapped PLS, I imagine. Yeah, there's WETH, which is wrapped ETH, and there's WPLS. So wrapped, why would you wrap it? So it can be used in contracts and stuff, because the native token of the chain can't be used to trade. So you wrap it, and you put a little bow on it, put it in a box. As David Feeder explains Hedron stuff. You put the little, or HSIs, you put the hex stake in a little box, and now you can do stuff with it. Think about that as wrapped too. It's just wrapped in a little box. Now you can use it in contracts or trade it or make pairs based on it, all that cool stuff. Or make pairs, there is a lot of wrap pairs too for different things. Probably make it easier for contracts to interact with it. Did you win? Did you? Come on, win some more, man. Come on stream and win some more. Team win. No. There you go. You're not wrong, sir. You're not wrong. A lot senior truth. Thank you for that. I mean, I don't know if I'm telling the truth. We'll get in this whole discussion, like, what is truth? Truth is relative to a lot of people. Obviously, there's certain things that are true, but in general, it is about perspective. And I try not to say things that will make me have less credibility. We'll say it like that. But a lot of people don't care. That's cool. It's fun. Betting is fun. Betting and making stuff up is fun. It really is. I just prefer my brand to be, avoid that. We'll say that. Not say I'm never going to do it. I just want to avoid it. We'll say that. Still in disbelief launches. Man, I know. I've literally been, that's a great topic, because I felt myself being like, man, am I ready? Like, how can I, what I need to do? So I've been coming up with a launch plan. I've been coming up with what if I do this, not super granular, but a few scenarios of like, watch out for this. If this happens, maybe I'll do this. And again, I'm going to talk about this in a minute. But I've even felt myself being like, validator stuff. I need to be ready to go. I've been working on the script this morning. I made a bunch of updates to the, added a new script, added the pruning script this morning. I've been changing some names. I've started creating the new mainnet script, or I just basically copied it and then changing the names around. And I've been getting ready to go, because I want to hit the ground running. I want that sweet early APY, in the pools and in the validator pools as well. So somebody wakes Sloth up. Yeah, he don't really, maybe I don't know. Is he going to take time off from school if PulseChain launches? Maybe, but he usually don't stream during the day. Otherwise, yeah. If he's on here, I would definitely invite him on. All right, let's get into some scenarios. Let me make sure I caught up with chat. Cool. This is it. All right, fellas crypto. I know it's game time. PM squared. What's happening? You really didn't have to change your name for me, but is delimiters. That's what those things are called. Delimiters. A period, a underscore. Otherwise, make things easier to read. I'll say that. $33 Hexus bull cycle. Black Swan. I hope you're right. And we are nearly alive. Yeah, that's true. So let's talk about, all right, I swear I'm going to check this one more time and I'm going to stop clicking it. All right, it's down. You're dead to me. CRT.sh. What do you guys want to see? Maybe I'll leave it on this for a minute. So what I've been thinking about. So one question too, and again, that's why I wish somebody was, let me check Twitter, just make sure nobody else wants to riff. Okay. graphics again, let me know. But no pressure, man, no pressure. So that's something that came up the other day is will the PulseX, because PulseX sacrifice address is, I believe, still the largest holder of DAI, or was at one point. So will they hold on to that DAI through the fork? And if they did, would that DAI be bridged over and made into, hey, DAI is, quote, redeemable, right? It's got some value because of the bridged over eDAI. So that's interesting. But if they don't do that, what do they use that DAI to do? Because if DAI is worthless on PulseChain and they have a bunch of it, wouldn't they want to make a move that would give them something that would be not worthless, or people want to have a value, such as Hex, such as Hedron, all this stuff. So could all that DAI be buy Hex, or could it otherwise provide LP positions? That's a question I'd like to dig into with more folks as well. Maybe we'll get to it at some point, but that would be cool. That's something that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about either. What's happening, Monica? Welcome. I know it's been a while. Good to see you. Still have time to buy for a copy. Papa suspenders, we don't know, but everyone has had a lot of time to buy to get their copy. So perhaps. GIF, invitation's open, sir. This 24-hour stream, I'm going for like 1 hour. So literally I'm going for 1 hour and then I'm cutting it off. So let me know if you want to come on 15 minutes. Feel free. I just went over a question that I would like somebody to riff on with, but no pressure. All right. My internet is crap. I guess you're looking at DigitalOcean. Yeah, I talk about that a lot on the validator AMAs, how there's a lot of upsides to using the cloud. It is if the cloud, it's not like the cloud hosters are going to take over your server or something like that. They got to have a huge reason to do that. And if that started happening, we would know. We would start seeing signs. Okay, let's start migrating away from the cloud providers because they're doing some shady stuff. But it's in their best interest not to do that, not to mess with their customers. So a lot of upsides to not doing it at home, and some downsides too. So it's going to cost more if you use cloud services, VPS, DigitalOcean, AWS, all that stuff. Than just buying, your server and running at home. But you don't have to pay for internet, you don't pay for electricity. You don't have to worry about uptime. And it's the isolation of the network is better because it's not even on your home network at all. You don't need to put another router there or VLAN or nothing like that. It's in the cloud. So uptime is great. Advantages, disadvantages. So check it out. PulseX SAC address too. So, okay, you're just my stats guy in the chat. I like this. I'll take it. I accept you. I like this. PulseX SAC address has, 278 mil. 278 mil. 6% of the supply of DAI is in the PulseX SAC address. What are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with the DAI? Nothing or something. I already talked about a couple things they could do with it. So, thank you for that GIF. Good stuff, man. Another question I wanted to, so again, I'll put up a few things here. Question for the chat. Let's do this. Question for the chat. Maybe make it a little bit interactive. What percentage of your PLS or PLSX are you sending to a cold wallet? If you're sending any at all, what percentage are you sending to a cold wallet? For example, 10% so you don't wreck yourself, 20%, 50%. I mean, do you have a cold storage set up to send a certain percentage upon launch that you want to say, oh, I'm not going to be tempted. I'm not going to be able to use it to trade because it's in my cold storage. It's in some other wallet. I'm not going to touch it. Let me know in the chat and I'll talk about it. Footstep says 90%. Some people might think that's crazy, but imagine. So let's paint this scenario. let's say you sent 90%, you took it from your stack wallet and you put it somewhere else. And you just said, hey, I'm going to play with 10%. I'm going to trade. This is actually like, you could be used as a strategy. You could do this. People could do this. Not saying anyone should do this, not giving any advice. I'm just riffing on what other people are clearly thinking about and doing in the chat. So if you took 90% and sent it somewhere and you knew that it was hard to get to, you could get to it, but it was too hard for you to be tempted. And you sat on for 2 years, whatever it is, whatever you think we're going to top out next bull market, whatever that may be. That sounds pretty cool to me. That sounds cool. Like that is textbook delayed gratification. Imagine how much, like, can you do that though? Can you actually do that? Can you stop yourself from trading? Now, of course, it's going to be different than people doing, if you stack for $1,000 versus 100,000, I don't know, I guess you can still apply it though. But imagine if you could do that. I'm not telling you what I'm doing, whether I'm going to do that or not, but I hope to pick up the dip if there is any kind of dip on PulseChain and PulseX too, and Hex, of course. But imagine if you sent 90% somewhere. It's kind of like doing a Hex stake. It's kind of like you're staking it, but you're not getting any yield, but you're also not tempted to make bad decisions with it because it's not your wallet. Now, if you do something like that, you have to make sure that you take care of that other wallet and you always have access to it and nobody else does. You have to do that, because if you do not, and you delay gratification for 2 years and you lose access, not going to be a good day. So you have to do it properly. But footsteps, not bad, man. John Bishop, 50%. I like it. Yeah, half your stack. 90%, half your stack. I mean, if it's 10%, that's a reasonable number too. It's like, okay, let me, I got some things to do other stuff. Let me go play with my 90%, and then 10% I'm never going to touch. Not for, years. 30, 40%. Yeah. I don't think there's a wrong percentage based, everything's based on your personal plan. So 90, Hexbear says 90% the vault, 10% the ratio trade. Yeah, vault. I mean, sometimes you may want to, we get other protocols and stuff too, but you can, with liquid loans, Power City and stuff, you can mint stables from it. You can stake those. You got to trust another contract, but it's, a lot of these projects are going to be more trustworthy than others. Those two, I think, are going to do very well, in my personal opinion. So they provide these features that allow you to lock it up too. Not, it's kind of like there's no 100% secure, safe way. If you don't care about the yield and you're just like, I want to control all my coins and I want to make sure this percentage nobody can ever touch, never at risk, and I'm going to take care of those seed words, then you can do that. There may be other ecosystem projects you can use for it too. 100% crypto truth. Wow. That would be, I got to give myself, I don't think I would do more than 90% myself personally, just because I know everybody's got a little itch to trade every once in a while. If you're trading 10% of your stack, I think that would give me, that wouldn't give me a lot of anxiety if I just traded 10% away. So there's that. Let's see. Cool. What's up, Rappy? I tried hard to get them all friends into Pulse. No joy. They're lost. Tell me about it, man. I've tried to get a lot of my friends. Some of them went in. Some of them I was successful. Some people, it's just whatever's meant to be. I truly believe that. I've heard the story a million times, but there's a friend of mine who, is big into ETH, and I literally had conversations with him. I got on video calls. I was like, man, I laid it out. Great opportunity. This guy's a genius, been following forever, blah, blah, blah. And he only sacked 1 ETH, I want to say, something like that. That's what he told me, at least, for PulseX. Didn't participate in PulseChain. I don't know how many calls I had with this guy. I'm just like, even today, I don't even want to, I can't even talk about it with him because it's frustrating. So, the friendship's still there, all that's fine. But I have to accept that Some people aren't going to get it. They're not going to get in, or they're going to get in really late, buy all of our bags. And that's the way the world works. You can't save everybody, right? You can only save people who are willing to be saved. It's almost sounding religious at this point, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. You can't help everyone. So you can only make a case, be like, all right, try my best, and just leave it alone. Don't let it ruin your relationship. Don't let it ruin your friendship and familyship and all that stuff. Jose Estrada, who will be a good idea to swap X million? But man, your question has got a lot of good idea to swap X million to PX for PLS. Okay, so I'm going to frame it like this. Is it a good idea to swap PX for PLSX and PLSX? I don't know. I don't get predictions, and we don't have enough data to make any of these decisions. What do I think about PX? I think PX might be my favorite hex going forward, and I think it'll be a lot of people's favorite hex. So yeah, don't know anything about the price though. What's your stats for outperform in easy 1.5 years? I know, right? These stats are pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, I'm going to ask another question. So what percentage will you set aside to LP and earn incentive token? So if you take your PLS, let's say, for example, you take your PLSX, you provide the liquidity, and then you farm it on PulseX, and you can earn incentive token. How many of you are going to do that? And what percentage do you think you'll set aside of your airdrop, of your SAC to do that, to earn incentive token? Let's get some conversation in the chat, and I'll riff on it. We'll do this one, and then I'll do one more question, and we'll wrap up. Lead horses to beer, not water. Yeah. All right. First one, John Bishop, 5 to 10%. Interesting. So, and tell me, John, too, is that because if you don't mind, what are you doing with the other 90%? Like, is there some other play that you think you're going to be incentivized more to do, right? Do you think incentive token is just not going to do as many X's because you're locking it up, right? This is another way to lock up your coins and be incentivized to do so. You're earning yield, but in the form of incentive tokens. So I'm curious, John, 5 to 10%, other people may say 50%, they may say 20%. If it's a low percent of your stack, what other things are you doing with it? If you don't mind to share, I think it'd be interesting. I'm curious to know. And Kryptonite, 80%. Whoa, you are bullish on incentive token, apparently. Bullish on locking it up and bullish on incentive token. Kincaid probably won't do that. Yeah, Kincaid, is it because you don't? Yeah, what are you valuing more? That's my question for people who are doing a small portion. I'm curious, what do you value more? I think it'd be great for discussion. 10%. Yeah, Rappy, what do you guys value more than providing LP to get incentive token and to earn fees? LP. Nope. UFO is just going around of, I'm not touching it. Maybe not touching anything. Maybe 6%. Yeah. Why are people not bullish on incentive token? So to me, I can make a case both ways. So the case for incentive token is it's Richard Hart token. It's not going to be the Duck Forever token because he made it. He doesn't make loser coins. In the early days, especially, the APY is going to be higher than when more people get in. So early the better, same as being validator. They'll be paired, Hart's Law, it'll be paired with stuff. So there will be some value. I think a lot of people, also the contrarian view, would be like, okay, why is everyone underestimating this? Is everyone just love PLSX? They have been waiting on incentive token for 2 years. they've been waiting on PulseChain and PulseX. So that's why they don't even want to pay attention to incentive token. So it's just literally like almost not a missed opportunity, but kind of a contrarian. Hey, is everyone actually right about this token not being worth paying attention to? And can I get in early enough there? So, and the other case against it would be, okay, there's inflation. I mean, literally, I don't know all the tokenomics behind it. Can't remember. K4K did a great video on it, but I believe it just inflates, to pay. So it inflates. It has an inflation schedule and inflates, and it's not the mainstream. Nobody's going to know what it is there, other than the thing that's in the platform for PulseX. A lot of people aren't going to do LP. Also, maybe that could be, I guess a lot of people don't know how to do LP. Maybe it wouldn't inflate as much and they wouldn't earn as much either. Interesting. The case against it, the gains are just better elsewhere. The gains on Pulse and PulseX are elsewhere. I guess that'd be the case against it too. John Bishop, I don't think incentive value will go very high. Okay, you just don't think the X's are there compared to that one's cool. My plain honesty, I will sell 50% at the next all-time high. All-time high of incentive token? Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. I just arrived to hear the airdrop of your sack. Nice one, believe in yourself. Nice one. EHEX, PXLP for incentive. Interesting. Yeah, there could be other. I haven't dug into all the ways, all the different pairs and stuff that could be earning and farming different coins. But I think the PLSX pair will be the most popular, I would say. But let's see. Value more delayed gratification. Well, I mean, you're still locking it up, so there's that. Guessing how long the bridge is open. Everybody thinks 48 hours, I think. That's the consensus. 48 to 36 hours after launch. Richard himself isn't super bullish. Yeah, he has said it's the one he cares least about. However, what does that mean? At what scale are we looking at? Are we looking at he doesn't care about it, so it's not going to, he's not planning. He hasn't designed to do 10,000x, so maybe to only do 1,000x. It's like, that's not caring. He only cares 10% about, that kind of stuff. It's a good point, though. Good point. 30 million per year. Thank you for that stat. Awesome footsteps. Have to have big bags to get a percentage. So maybe, okay, that's another case too. Maybe a lot of people, maybe a lot of people aren't going to get into it because they need the big bags. A lot of people aren't going to have big bags, at least at start. Maybe later on they will, but at start, the average sack is, I don't know how much the average sack is. I imagine it's in the low thousands. I'm going to just speculate on that. Really curious to see single style staking. Yeah, that's, if it's not on there now and we're this close, I think it's not going to be on there. I'm just going to say, I think it's more likely that if it was whatever was going to be on there, whatever is going to be on mainnet, is already on mainnet now. However, I could say that PulseChain is not PulseX. PulseX is a DApp. So PulseChain launching, getting that correct is way, way, way more important than PulseX maybe having some bug, having some features missing or whatever it is. It's a DApp. You got to separate the two. PulseX is a DApp. PulseChain is the network. So it just happens to be a DApp made by Richard Hart. That's it. So I think whatever we see now is going to be there, and then single side staking will come afterwards. It'll be the upgrades. We'll get all these upgrades to PulseX maybe. So that limit, did we have limit orders? I can't even remember. It's been a while. I think the stuff will come though. I wouldn't worry. All right, everyone. One more question, and then I'm gonna call it an afternoon. I don't know. I don't know if I'll stream it later on or not. We'll see. I got one gentleman who may come on or not, talk about macros and PulseChain setup. That could be cool, but kind of waiting to see if he wants to do it. All right, the last question is, What percentage will you keep liquid of your PulseChain, PulseX airdrop to pick up good opportunities on, could be PHEX, could be undervalued ecosystem coins? This is something I wanted to dig into people with too. What is the price of Hadron going to be? What is the price of ICOSA? The community tokens that are launching, the copies, all the meme coins, all this stuff. Now, people got to put up liquidity for you to be able to trade them. So it's not going to be like this stupid easy deal. It's different. I talked about this yesterday, I think. It's going to be different than if this big event happened and the network's already live, because then you already have the liquidity pools and you have the chance for price to go up and down a lot easier and stuff. This is a new network. So I'm curious, other than PulseChain and PulseX, other than Hex and maybe Hedron and stuff, what if there's other community coins that you all are going to be looking to pick up to see if people put up liquidity with their copies? Because they have copies, it's a lot easier to put up liquidity than, having to like go and accumulate and stuff over time. So I think I'm going to be watching the pools. I'm going to be watching the pools of to see what community coins are trading to, of projects that I like. I've talked about Google or search for RHMax. 10 PulseChain projects I think are game changers. I'll talk about the ones I like there and see if I can get any good deals on those. I think that's something nobody's talking about either. It's what kind of community coins other than Pulse. Everyone's focused on getting cheap Pulse, getting cheap PulseX, getting deals on Hex, whatever. What about the rest of the coins that people think are going to do well? That's what I'm interested in. So the question is, before I go, what percentage are you keeping liquid to pick up deals on other stuff? Anyone even thinking about that yet? Or have I been like, oh gosh, Max, I never thought about that. Is that the response? What do you guys got? I'll give you a couple minutes and then I'll say good night or good day. I'll say good day here in a few minutes. Believe in yourself, remember to get your taxes. Attempt to get one or two taxes in. Interesting. Yeah, taxes are important too. Tamer, I followed RH before Hex. Cool, man. Yeah, welcome. I'm in the 6-year club myself. I was there for CFD and stuff too. Was hesitant to join Hex, not missing out again. 50% LP, 30% liquid, 20% in case we have a wallet sacrifice. Okay. 50% LP, 30% liquid. All right, man. That's so it sounds like not being a validator though, which is fine, because I think there'll be some good APY there. Sounds like not putting any cold storage because you got some plays you want to try to make and you want to get some yield. 30% liquid. Curious what you're doing with the liquid, if you want to elaborate at all. But if not, that's okay too. And 20%, I guess I assume liquid is just picking up deals and stuff. 20% in case we have wallet sacrifice. I don't know. We're going to be sack phased anytime soon. I personally don't think we are. However, you never know. Footsteps, new dirty fiat. Man, dry powder may be the most underrated thing to have. It may turn out that way. It may turn out that dry powder was the thing to have at PulseChain launch. That has nothing to do with stablecoins or nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, money to pick up the dips and dumps that may happen could turn out to be a good play. We're gonna have to see and find out. Project to come later. Yeah, that's the farms. I'm after all the Maxi ICOSA. Yeah, I didn't mention Maxi there. Yeah, so the Maxi tokens, they already have been trading at a discount on E, on the Ethereum network. So what are they going to trade on PulseChain? Like, those are people sleep on the Maximus ecosystem. I think it may not be the most sexy as far as like, they don't have all the 10,000x risky coins there, but you get more for your money in a lot of different ways, just based on the way they operate in the pooled system. So very cool. Footsteps. What do you think of investing money on a validator that just invests in buying a coin? It depends on how much you have to invest, but you know, if you think the price of PLS is going to go up, being a validator is basically taking an investment. Like if you think that the money you're going to spend on being a validator for a year is going to be less than what the price appreciation and the ability to hold someone else hold that, if you think it's going to be more than that, like it's not going to be worth it, I think it would be. I think it'll be more than worth it, and you're helping the network too. So I have like an altruistic thing about it, because I didn't even, being a validator, I didn't even care. I didn't even think it was going to be that much APY at the beginning, and I was already doing all the AMAs and stuff. And then when the APY changed and went way up, I was like, whoa, that's cool. To me, it was cherry on top. So, you know, I think it'll be great. The more validators, the better. The more validators you can run, the better. You know, the more APY and stuff you get. So depends on how many you can run and how much you're paying for hardware and or cloud or all that stuff too. But for me, if I think the price of the token is going to go up, the way that everyone's been memeing it, it's been memed the 10,000x coin. If I think it's going to go up, being a validator, getting the APY, it makes sense to me. Does it make sense to anyone else? We're going to find out, but a lot of people seem to be interested in it. All right, everyone. I'm going to call it there. Wallet token will be main. That would be interesting. I hope the wallet has some cool tokenomics too whenever that comes out. Just don't know when it'll be. Cheaper fees make it easier to get liquid dry powder needed. I think when we have a bridge and stuff, it's going to be very interesting, all the projects launching and all that stuff too. So, all right, everyone. Hope this was helpful. We went over a lot of stuff, actually. And I covered pretty much, covered a lot of stuff. I think it's pretty good. If you haven't watched the first and second launch plan AMAs, feel free to do so. I did them in the last week or so. So fairly recent as far as things that people are talking about. And that's all I got for you. Appreciate you in the chat. Thanks for everything. And streaming every day till launch. So we'll see if I come back on today or I'll see you tomorrow, if nothing else. Scivive and 5555. We are out.